Have you ever lost your money when a company or bank has shut down? Well, that's the case of many Nigerians today. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Aisha Abdullah and today's topic is about a situation specific to Nigeria. What happens if your bank's license gets revoked? Recently, the Central Bank of Nigeria revoked the license of Heritage Bank and the National Deposit Insurance Corporation was appointed as a liquidator. This can be a quite confusing time. So, let's break down what you need to know and what steps needs to be taken. Unlike a traditional bank failure in some countries, a license revocation happens when the CBN determines the bank is no longer operating soundly or meeting regulatory requirements. This doesn't necessarily mean that the bank is bankrupt, but it does mean it can no longer function as a bank. To understand the story of Heritage Bank, let's go back to 2006, a time when a bank, the Societe Generale Bank of Nigeria, was in distress. 2 years before that, the CBN had increased the minimum capital for banks to 25 billion naira, and they had until December 2006 to meet that target. 25 banks sailed through by recapitalizing or going into mergers or acquisition arrangements. Essentially, they merged or bought out. 64 banks could not meet up. SGBN, founded by late Olusola Saraki, was among Nigeria's largest bank back in the day, with nearly 140 branches across the country. But it was among the 64 banks that could not meet up the minimum capital of 25 billion naira, and its license was revoked. SGBN's owners went to court to challenge CBN's decision to revoke his license in 2008. The court ruled that BBN's decision was in bad faith, unconstitutional, null, and void. So out goes SGBN and in comes Heritage Bank. As part of the resolution moving forward, the bank, now named Heritage Bank, was deemed to have met the statutory 10 billion naira capital base for regional banking. From that point, the immediate task for the new management was to validate account statements of former customers of the moribund SGBN. Heritage Bank went on to return 100% of existing Societe Generale account holders' monies to their owners. Now reborn, Heritage Bank went on to offer banking and financial services in the country, including in the Southwest, Southeast, and North. In October 2014, Heritage Bank Company Limited successfully met the requirements of the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria and the CBN towards owning 100% shares in Enterprise Banking Limited. On January 27, 2015, AMCON officially transferred ownerships to Enterprise Bank Limited to Heritage Bank PLC. On the back of acquisition, Heritage Bank PLC expanded to 127 branches and 202 automated banking centers with over 350 ATMs in all states of the Federation and the FCT. As of December 2015, the total asset valuation of the bank was estimated at 483.4 billion naira. Its shareholders' equity was worth at least 25 billion naira, but not everything was going well. Banks and Other Institutions Act 2020 regulates the running of banks and financial institutions. CBN's revocation order on Heritage indicates Heritage flouted the act in 5 different ways. 1. It had insufficient assets to meet its liabilities. 2. It conducted its business in an unsound manner. 3. Failed to comply with specific obligation, rules, regulations, guidelines, and directives under the Act. 4. It was critically uncapitalized below the minimum allowable for its class, and its financial performance and condition constitutes a threat to financial stability. Its statements of accounts and annual report from 2021 shows its net interest income, that is, interest income minus interest expense, was in the negative. Interest income measures how profitable a bank is and its major source of income, as interest on loans, and what the bank pays out to depositors as interest on the deposit. Heritage was paying out more to its depositors, mostly interbank leaders and the CBN, then what is it earning on loans? This is because it was heavy with non-performing loans, a whopping 81.2%. It had many bad loans on its books and so was not earning enough interest income. Out of every 100 naira it gave out as a loan, 81.2 naira was bad and unrecoverable. The good news: Nigeria has the NDIC, similar to Deposit Insurance Program in other countries. The NDIC protects your deposits up to a certain amount. The news about Heritage is not new. From 1998 to 2008, NDIC has overseen the closure of 53 banks, and liquidation is usually the last resort when a bank is in distress. Before this point, distressed bank would have gone through resuscitation efforts including recapitalization, maintaining adequate level of liquidity, adherence to lending limits, establishment of special courts for debt recovery, sanctions against banks failing to meet CBN standards, control of cost funds, and overhaul of management team. Liquidation is the last option. This is when CBN revokes banking license and the NDIC, appointed liquidator, proceeds to close the branches and head office of the bank. If there is no court case challenging the liquidation, it pays liquidation dividend to bank customers. What happens next? The NDIC will typically take one of the two approaches: set up a temporarily bridge bank to handle your deposits and some banking services, and to look to transfer your accounts to a healthy bank. The second is a direct payout of insured deposits to depositors. NDIC is going for option number 2. Customers of Heritage Bank with alternate accounts within the industry will be paid up to insured amounts of 5 million naira per depositor using their BVN to locate their alternate accounts. 99% of Heritage 2.3 million depositors have deposits below 5 million naira. They make up to 650 billion naira in deposits at the bank. Customers who own over 5 million naira in the bank will be paid liquidation dividend after the Heritage assets and debts are recovered. The bank's loan is around 700 billion naira. For customers who don't have an alternate account, visit the nearest branch of the bank with proof of account ownership, verifiable means of identification such as driver's license, permanent voter's card, national identity card, together with their alternate accounts and BVN for the verification of the deposits and subsequent payments of insured sums. Otherwise, file an online claim by visiting the NDIC website claims page on www.ndic.gov.ng/claims. Download and fill the claims form and upload the required documentation. Creditors, those who loaned money to Heritage, can visit the nearest branch of their bank to file their claims or via their online platform. However, payments to creditors will begin only after all depositors have been paid. And if you're a debtor yet to complete your repayment, contact NDIC's Asset Management Department. Steps to take. Here is what you should do if you hear about your bank's license being revoked. Number 1. Stay calm. Don't rush to withdraw all your money. Remember, the NDIC insures most deposits. 2. Wait for NDIC's announcements. NDIC will announce their plan for handling the situation. This will include information on how to access your deposits and what happens to your accounts. You will find updates on the NDIC websites. 3. Review your deposit limits. Remember, the NDIC insures a specific amount per depositors per bank. Check the NDIC website for current limits. But if you have more than 5 million naira insured by NDIC, here are some options. Contact the NDIC. They might offer options for recovery, some uninsured funds during the liquidation process. However, this is not guaranteed. Explore other banks. Once the NDIC announces its plan, you can consider opening accounts at other NDIC insured banks to ensure your future deposits are protected. Remember, prevention is key. The best way to deal with the bank license revocation is to be prepared. Here are some preventative tips. Choose a reputable bank. Look for a bank with a strong financial history and NDIC insurance. Monitor your accounts. Regularly check your bank statements for any suspicious activity. Diversify your savings. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Spread your savings across different NDIC insured banks and other investment options. A bank license revocation can be unsettling, but by understanding the NDIC role and taking some preventative measures, you can navigate the situation and keep your finances secure. If you are wanting to achieve financial freedom so that bank issues cannot affect you, watch this next one to find out.